Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It is your favorite warlock practicing necromancer. And today I want to kind of reflect a little bit over my journey, but also my personal observations. And as a lot of you know, last fall I got out of a 6-year relationship. And about 9 days ago was the last time I did a live video, but I've been uploading tidbits of rituals and rites that I've been doing. And basically, I've been in between working a lot, doing a lot of reflections, a lot of meditations, a lot of studying and practicing. I've been also doing a lot of observation on social media and in the world. The different perspectives of those on, say, Facebook, for an example, compared to going to where I work, doing my job and observing my coworkers or that of all the customers that come into, to my store. Even if I go to the park with my son, I watch how everybody's interacting, but yet nobody's interacting with me. Which is which is kind of funny because I'm looking at things as a third party, if you will. But ever since I got that seal, or was shown that seal, the seal of the true self, I've been reflecting a lot upon my own personal journey, my own personal life. And it's interesting to see how things have unfolded. I don't have friends because, number one, all they do is make excuses as to why they don't want to hang out with you, why they don't want to go to, like, say, a bar, or have come over and visit, stuff like that. It's always come down to some petty, stupid bullshit. Be it religion, or be it you know, family time or the lack thereof. It could even be anything to do with, say, for an example, oh, I got plans. It's like, really, what are those plans? Because you're calling them out on their bullshit, and it's like, what's the point of having friends? You know what I'm saying? We live in an age where the enlightenment of this is freeing. It is literally freeing. People would rather be on a different side of a computer screen without a photo of themselves, or doing a live video, even shadowing somebody else's account, liking everything, but yet not engaging, than to actually associate with these individuals. This is the world we live in now. Everything has been pussified, if you will. There's really no men left in the fucking world. Think about this for just a moment. I want you to honestly think about this. In today's world, men are the bad guys. Okay? You either have a woman in your life, which is Hebraic system, by the way. There is no law that says you have to be with a woman or a man. There is no law stating that you can't be single. It's just basically that image. And that's what it comes down to, is an image. For an example, I was on Facebook this morning just checking my messages. I hadn't done it for a while. Hey, James. And so I was checking my messages and I decided, what the hell? I'll just scroll down through the main feed, just see who's posting. What are they posting? Outside of seeing some of the celebrity pages that I follow, or used to follow, I should say, I just don't get on anymore that much. Um, you see a lot of people posting things, and one of the posts that caught my attention this morning was one by Cat Quotes. Okay, it's basically one of those ones that posts funny photos of cats and kittens and pets and stuff. And in this particular photo, it wasn't about cats per se. It basically stated that if a man owns a cat, it means he's gay. Wow. Seriously? That's what this world has come down to? Judging somebody by the type of pet that they've had? Have we not learned not to judge people over appearances, race, creed, class? Or how about religious differences? No, now we're moving on to, oh, you own a cat. You're fucking gay. Hmm. Yeah. Interesting. So it's definitely interesting to see this because I look back at my own life. I look at, you know, all the people that have come and gone from my life. I look at all the friends I've lost to death. How many years that women rejected me based off the way I looked, the way I talked, the way I dressed, even. You know, um, hell, even if say for an example, if a woman was in my life, I look at all those women that have been in my life that have used me, betrayed me, lied to me, cheated on me, and yet there's no sense of accountability there. But yet, in today's society, if a man dares to stick up for himself, he's pure evil. If a man lashes out in anger, verbally speaking, it's considered abuse. Hmm. Interesting how that works, right? I believe it was Kevin Carr who said it in a comedy routine that we live in a society where being a man is a thankless position. It's true. I look back at the last 6 years in particular, and I look at how much I've had to fight for my son, my 5-year-old son, how much I had to fight to keep my family together while the other person did nothing. She went to work, spent her time in bed. That was it. The only thing she posts on her account is to make herself look good or to impress her family and her friends. If this is what it means to have a family and friends, then I want no part of it. You know, I don't want a part of that because if I'm going to have a family, I want somebody who wants to be with me personally, not because of what I practice, not because of the way I dress or the way I speak. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people, can relate to this. More so, I know that a lot of you are ruled by society's rules, their expectations, and that just means you're still into the matrix, if you will. And no, I'm not talking about the movie starring Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne, Carrie Ann Moss. Although she did look good in that tight leather outfit and everything, but um, the point is that a wise philosopher once said, "Be true to who you are. The rest will fall." And as you can see behind me, just over, wait, there it is, this shoulder, that's one of my four cats. Okay, that's one of my four cats. Okay, those of you who have followed me for a long time have probably seen me engaging with my son on a live video. Okay, so how does that make me gay? You know what I'm saying? How does that make me gay? Because I have a son, because I have cats. That's judgmental on your part. That's ignorance on your part. But a wise philosopher once said, "Be true to who you are, and the rest will follow." Years ago, when I first started getting serious in my religious studies, within my philosophies, my practices, I met an evangelist of 15 years. This guy is now, I consider him a hypocrite. I consider this man a betrayer and a liar, somebody who claims to believe everything in the Bible, but yet he himself does not do anything that the Bible says. Okay, I used to look up to this guy, so I got a chance to see what an apostolic church was like. And this was years ago. And keep in mind, at the time, I was a practicing Satanist of 20 years. A practicing Satanist of 20 years. And I was invited to this church just to see, what it was like. And it was interesting because I had never seen people make fools of themselves the way these people did. I'm talking grown ass men bawling their fucking eyes out. I'm talking grown ass men jumping up and down, running around pews like Southern Baptists. Okay. And it was funny because of the fact over the years, I've visited numerous types of churches, temples, even from Buddhist temples to Baptist churches to Catholic synagogues, you know, and everything like that because of the religious practices and the philosophies in my personal studies. So to see this was completely a different perspective for me personally. So when my son's mother and I got together a little over 6 years ago, it was one of those things. I understood where she was coming from as a practicing Baptist. I didn't give a shit if she was a Baptist, a Catholic, a fucking Buddhist monk, a Buddhist monk, or say an atheist, for an example. It did not matter to me. It, all that mattered to me is that she became my girlfriend, you know. And then when I found out that I was going to be a father, I was ecstatic. I never had this experience before. So then I had to fight as a man for my family. What does it mean to be a defender, a protector? You learn about this stuff when you become a parent. And I look back when I was living in South Tucson. I watched a man, he'd show up at like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning in one of those little ice cream trucks, those portable ice cream trucks that he turned into a taco shack. And he did what he loved doing, which was cooking. He'd do that for like 12 hours. Then he'd spend a couple of hours playing with his, helping his kids, you know, with their homework. He would work on his wife's minivan, spend time with his family. He even gave ex- a complete stranger a chance to work, you know, for food, so to speak. And I watched this, you know. Hell, this guy, when I broke up with one of my girlfriends when I lived in South Tucson, this man actually put me to work. He put me to work. He got me into Pato Mayumbi. My neighbor got me into Santeria. And it was interesting to see what it meant to be a man. And I remember thinking to myself, if I ever have a chance to have a family, I hope I can be half the man that this man is. He was a role model. So when I came to Maine and I met this apostolic man, this evangelist of 15 years, I thought he was cool, because he was a father of three. He was a husband. And he always told me, you gotta have priorities. You gotta have priorities and you gotta have things, all your ducks in a row. You have to have a home for the woman and the child to be with. You gotta have transportation to get them, to where they need to be, either school or work or wherever. Even to go grocery shopping or even go, say, to the beach. But you have to have a job. You have to work hard for your money, for your income. There's no easy way out. There is no easy way around anything. You want something, you have to work for it. To have all this stuff, you have to have that employment. That's what being a man is about. It's not about how many cats you own or what type of animal you own. But even though that relationship with my son's mother imploded due to a wide range of things, uh, which I'm not going to get into, by the way, I went into a very depressed state for like a month, month and a half. And when I came out, I ended up getting a job. I was hired on the spot. And it was interesting because now I'm the overseer of the bakers and I'm basically the primary baker for the company that I work for. I work hard for what I bring in. In the last 4 days, I've dropped over $2,000. Number one, I got the rent paid off. Just completely. Right in the one payment. This month's rent done. I was back on the third. I dropped $502 on a bill. It was overdue by like 4 months. I had forgotten about it. Then I dropped another $451.70 for my car payment, like I do every month. $350 the same day towards a grimoire that's being handmade for me. The old school method of making them, not this new bullshit that they pass off as grimoires today. No, this is a true grimoire. This is something that is being made from scratch. And then yesterday, I sent this individual another $200. So in overall, I just dropped over $2,000 within 3 days. I was going over my notes and my practices from my studies, my my meditational and ritualistic practices in my temple right on the other side of this computer. How many books have I read over the last 4 months since I began this spiritual journey? My boss just yesterday, or not yesterday, but the day before on Friday, gave me a pin for my hat that basically stated basically they only give 77 of these out per year. And it's like having a purple heart from the military, but for a corporation type thing, meaning that you have earned something of value, that they respect you and what you put in. When I look at my elders who observe my own personal journey and my work and the research and everything that and the time and the effort that I put into not only my rituals, but my research and meditational, practices, how much I've grown, they're impressed and they always let me know, hey, we're proud of you because of how far you've come, how dedicated you are. So these are the type of people that you need in your life that will support you, that will sit there and not do the work for you, but to sit there and go, hey, you know, you're the one putting the time and the effort into your practices and your day to day, events that you do, be it your job, be it your family life, be it the time that you spend with your kids. Hell, do you want to know why my cats respect me? Because I'm not looking down at them like a giant to an insect. No, I literally get down on their level. So they're looking me in the eye. This is what it's like to be an alpha. They know that I'm the alpha because not only because I clean their box, but I feed them and I give them water. I pay attention to them. I give them lovin's. I do the same thing with my son. Even to this day, I may be furious and angry at what my ex did, how much money she pissed away instead of putting towards the family, or the fact that she cheated on me. You know, that pisses me off. But even today, I'm the one man outside of her family that's always there when she calls. When she needs help, I'm the one that's there because we have a child together. It's called responsibility to the responsible. Even Anton Zander LaVey stated that fact. So when I'm looking as a third party at either the internet or the world, there's one thing that comes to mind. I'm not in that matrix. It means nothing to me. I don't give a shit if Russia is invading Ukraine. I don't give a flying fuck if China created a virus that spread like a plague across the fucking world. Okay? I don't care the political dogma that's going on between Trump and Biden or the Republicans and the Democrats. I don't give a shit about that stuff. I don't care about the world's dramas. I don't care about your little segregation. I don't care about this stuff because I look at being a better man. I look at me. I master myself. I'm the only one that can apply the gnosis and the apotheosis to my day to day life. I'm the only one who can reflect over my day's journey and say, okay, I did awesome during this. Everybody saw this. Yep, that was good. Now, where are these weaknesses? How can I make those weaknesses into strengths so that I can grow as an individual, as a practitioner, not just a religious and spiritual man, not just as a necromancer or a warlock, as an archbishop. I mean, I look at just what I've done over the last 4 months, the creation of phylacteries in relics, the, you know, purchasing of certain relics, helping my brethren out. You know, I look at how much I've grown just in the last 4 months. The last, hell, we're on month 5 now of a 2 year and 3 months journey. I can visibly see growth between lifting weights and cardio at the gym to my to moving up in rank and at work to always being there for my son as a family man. Doesn't matter if his mother and I are together or not. It's about what kind of man I want to be. That's why I don't allow myself to be drugged into drama or to worldly stupidity. You got to decide for yourselves what kind of man or woman that you want to be and what you want to represent. Okay, how do you want to be seen? This means that you got to utilize remote viewing. Okay, review your own life, your experiences. Look at yourself. A man who does not learn from history is doomed to repeat it. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Only you can decide for yourself to do better, to be better, to rise above the stupidity and put the drama away. You want to become an elder in the magical community? Then step up to the plate and be that elder. One of the greatest things I ever did was got my hands on the Canaan laws, 1, 2, and 3 sections. Showed me what a bishop is seen to be. You don't see this with Catholics or any minister today. You don't see this stuff today. It's all about money. It's all about greed. It's about playing that part, that persona. Because outside of the church, they don't fucking do what they claim that they do. You look at the TST, the Satanic Church, and you look at how they're playing the political game. Oh, we're doing this for all Satanists, but yet it's all about their members and their members only. If you're not a part of their church, their temple, then it's a big fuck you. You look at Wiccans or pagans, they have their own little segregation, their own subdivisions. This is the world that you live in. This is the type of practices that you perform. But nobody stops to think, how do you rise like the phoenix? How do you become a god? How do you take your godhood into your own hands and rise through humbleism, through knowledge and education, through transfiguration of your soul, through your body? Nobody takes that into account. 6 years ago, I stepped into a world of necromancy. 4 years ago, I dedicated myself to this path. Today, I look back at those 6 years. In fact, I look back at the 44 years I've been in this world, on this black rock that we call Earth. There's nothing in this world that is good. There is nothing in this world that is worth your attention. You and what you do today is what matters. So take that into consideration, take it as you will. True growth is done through trials and tests. One of my elders said this to me. He said, without tests and trials, there can be no growth, no evolution. Hardships are meant to help you grow. Personally, I found that pain and suffering is a good thing. Love is just an illusion. It's how you act around somebody that matters. If you want that person in your life, then you have to fight like hell. Walk through the fires of Gehenna if you have to. Only you can do that. You want change? Fight for it. Plain and simple. Dedication, commitment, and self motivation. That's how you grow. But this is what I've learned throughout my reflections over the last few days, the last few months. But that's just me. Imagine what you can do in 4 months. Have a good day.